Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of Resistor Colour Code Calculator. So let me show you guys how it works. Check out the reset. No, you don't want to reset. Yes, we want to reset. Enter new value there. The first band is orange, followed by green, and let's see the multiplier. Let's say that is the multiplier is blue, and the resistor happens to be that. Then the next thing is click on total. Supposing we change that to 5, change that to 20, and if you want to change this, so the system actually automatically calculates itself. There we go, and you can reset. Right, try it out again. 2, 4, and that. Select 5, calculate. Right there you get the value for the resistor, minimum range and maximum range. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is to take you straight into Python editing environment, and we'll put one of these very advanced and interesting tutorial together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of Resistor Colour Code Calculator. So let me start by importing as follows. Right in here we're going to enter from Tkinter, import it all, and we also need to import as follows. Let's go for ttk. Right, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create a class. This is how you create a class here, and I'm going to call this class resistor. Right there. Now let's define the function. Function dot initialize this as my, that's going to be the name of my product. I'm just going to call it root for now. That's the app itself, and enter a column there. Then let's go for self dot root, and that's going to be the root itself. Then we say self dot root dot title, and that's going to be for the title. So I'm going to call that Resistor Colour Code Calculator. Close that there. And the next thing is I'm going to now define the size of this. So let me just copy and paste. Instead of typing, paste that in there, and this is going to be the geometry. I'm going to make that. That's to do with the size of my own screen. So it's going to be 1350, right, and by 750. Okay. No, let me make that 650, 652 and 352. That's fine. Plus 0 plus 0. The plus 0 is to do with the start of the application when it opens. That means it will opens right from here and fill up the screen. Right. The next thing I want to do is root.configure. So configure, and that's going to be for my background color. Background, and I'm going to make my background color, let me call that powdered blue. Right, I might change it, I don't know, but it's going to be powdered blue. Now the next thing is I'm going to close the application and ask, using if statement, if main, if column name. Okay, underscore, let's say underscore underscore main underscore underscore. Let's enter that, and column. If it's name, then we want it TK, and the application name, application equals resistor, and this resistor is okay in the root. So we can now say root dot main. Okay, we want it to loop. I think that is fine. I'm going to save this. Let's save it as resistor. Copy that. Pi resistor. That's what I'm going to save it as. Okay, let's come right in here and just create a folder for that. And that folder will be known as Pi resistor. There we go. Pi underscore resistor, and right in there, file name is called resistor. Save. There we go. If I run this now, it's just going to be a screen. Oh, there's something missing here. My equals is missing. Right. So let's see. There we go. That's my application. Now let's continue. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to define the frame, how I want the frame itself to look like. So to do that, right underneath here, so let me define my frame. So the frame is going to be mainframe. I'm going to call it mainframe. Okay, equals frame. Now, and this frame is inside self dot root. There. And let's pack this mainframe. Copy that, paste right underneath here. I'm not going to pack it, I'm just going to put it inside grid. Right, that's the mainframe taken care of. Okay, I think we better get this indented, else there's going to be an error. Alright, the next thing I want to create is that's going to be top. Or instead of calling it top, let me call it title. Title frame. My title frame equals frame, and this title frame is going to be inside the mainframe. Yeah, let's make it right inside the mainframe, this one. Right, that is fine. Okay, let's say BD equals, let's go for about 10. We can always change it to run, and the width equals 130, comma, let's get it padded, and the padding I'm going to make that maybe 20. I don't know how it's going to look like, but let's just define everything. We can always amend as we go along. And it's going to be rigid. You can make it flat if you want, but I'm going to just make mine rigid. There, close that. Then let's get this. That's for the title. So the title is going to be, okay, let's say dot. Since it's inside the mainframe, I want it to be inside row 0 equals 0, column equals 0 as well. Yeah, equals 0. that is that. Okay, I'm going to also create a widget. This one is going to be for the title equals label, and this title will be right inside title frame. And let's set font equals area there, and I'm going to go for about 50. Now I can always change that or reduce it or whatever. I make that bold, then close that, and the text content I want on it is going to be right here. Copy all that, so equals, paste that right there. That's the text content I want. I don't know if this padding is required, but I'm just going to say padding, make that 2. Close that for now, and I want it right in here, so let's paste that in there and enter dot. Great. Right, so let me make all of this self anyway. Dot self. Yeah, paste that again. Okay, let's run it. But before we run it, I think there's an error here. That's supposed to be column, and maybe increase this to about, leave that, let's leave it. Let's increase this padding. Now let's run it and see, then we'll take it from there. Okay, this is how it looks for now. Okay, so if I make this, let's make this about maybe 40 and run it again and see what's going to happen. Okay, that's fine. So I can even increase it a little bit more, maybe 80. Why not? It's just to create space in between. Okay, so you know how to create space now anyway. Alright, I'm just going to make it 100. So now I'm going to create another frame right underneath here, right there, and this frame is going to be, that's for title, and this is meant to be for the, I'm just going to call it resistor frame. Yeah, resistor frame right there. And inside the resistor frame, that's where I will have all my, this is going to be on row number 2, row 1. Okay, and right there, that's where I'll start creating my buttons. Let's say the very first button is according to the color code for the resistor system. That's going to be black, so I'm going to say black color. Okay, let's spell it properly with a British speller. That's good. Alright, so the very first button, I'm going to call it black color button. Okay, so this very button is going to be right inside resistor frame. This one, paste it there. Well, I might as well just say self dot that comma. Now, what is going to be the size of my color button? I can make up some size for it, so for now let's just say the width equals maybe about 13. We can always change that, right? And the font on it, let me copy font somewhere here, paste it there. And what else? Reduce this to about, let's go for 14 for now. Okay. And what else do we need for now? Comma text on it. The text on it is going to be black. Oh yeah, that reminds me. If the text is black, font color, we have to make that white. And the background color, because it's of this button, has to be BG equals black. Right there. Now copy this and run this button up, and if it works as we want, we can always, so let's say it's going to be in 00. Copy all of that, paste it there, and change this to 0. So let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Let me move these up so that you guys can see the end of the program for now. So run it and let's see. There we go. That's our very first button there. Okay, in total I'm going to need 13 into 4 places, multiply that, do the math. Okay, that should give us about 52. Right, now copy the next one. The next one is going to be what color? I think it's brown. I need to check my, well, I have to check my, yeah, it's brown. So brown color, change this to brown. There, brown color. Right, that's the brown color. The brown color will be directly underneath this one, so that's 1. Right, let's run it. There we go, but the color is not changed, so let's change the color right here. This is brown, and white or black, we can leave that as black. Run there. Okay, that is fine. Now one other thing is, let me, instead of arranging it vertical, let me arrange it horizontal. Okay, because horizontally is all black, so copy this. So that's going to be the first one. Paste, paste, paste. So just a breaking line there. That's for the first lot. But let's change the name. Get this back. That is fine. So color is black. This is the first one. This is going to be on column 1, column 2, column 3. Right, now what else do we need? I need to give it a name. This is black color 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, black color band 1, band 2, band 3. Okay, yeah, it can be that. Black color band 1, band 1. So change the name. I'm changing the name because I don't want to get confused. Band 1, and this is band 2. Band 2, I think we now need some space. The name seems to be too long. I'll just call it BK color band 1. Okay, I'm changing the names now. So take note, guys, so that you can see that's why the names are being changed. Okay, because I am designing. Okay, BKC uppercase C, BKC band 1. That is much better. BKC band 2. Right. BKC. Okay, I'll just speed that up and get back to you. Right guys, this is how it looks now. The names, I've just changed the names so that you guys can see everything there. Now we need to now change the content. The first one is right, so the content on it is, the text on it is black. The next one, the text on it is going to be 0 and followed by 1, and the last one here is supposed to be tolerant. There will be nothing there. There's no text content on it at all. Delete that. And that reminds me, we also need title on this. Right, there should be title. Okay, but let's run this first, then I'll create a title. Yeah, you see that? But there's no title up there, which is very bad. So let's come in here, create a title. I'm going to copy this. Let's copy the title, which means we will have to change, if the title in this case happens to be this. Copy that. We need 4 of those title. Paste. So the first title, and the width is going to be 13 as well, so we can always take care of that. Get rid of this. The first title here, I'm going to call that, shall we call it band 1 first band, and make this 13. If this is 0, then this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now the second one here. Oh no, this is wrong. This is 1. They are all 1, 1, 1, and 1. 1 and 1 here. Now this one, I need to copy it. I need 4 of those for now. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move this here so that you guys can see it. So this one is band 1. This is going to be band 2, second band, and this one is going to be multiplier. And this will be tolerance. Wait a minute, instead of saying band, let's say, okay, band 1, band 2. Okay, that's fine, leave it like that. Now this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, and 3, just like we have in here. So let's run it and see how that will look like. So this will be my title for those ones. Okay, is what we need to change the, yeah, we actually need to change that. It's meant to be inside resistor frame 1. Change that to the second one, third one, and finally the fourth one. So let me run it and see. I'm actually designing as I go along. Look at that. So that's good. That's not bad. Okay, this is wrong. That should be black. Let's go back and come back in here. Where is the black one? Okay, it's all correct, but because I haven't changed this row, that's row 2. So that's fine. I'm going to copy all of these now, paste it to right underneath here, and this is brown. So brown color, so BRC, yeah, BRC. So I'm going to use that brown color, yeah, BRC 1 and so on. So let's change the name and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I've decided just to leave the name of this as brown, so that's going to be brown 1, brown 2 and so on. So I'm going to speed that up. Okay, this is the name of this one now. It's called brown 1. So the next button is called brown 2 and so on. So it's going to be on row 2. Row 2. And the color is all brown. So I'm going to copy that, paste that in there. Brown. Yeah. So if this is just brown, this can just be black as well. Just change the name to black. Sorry about this, I'm just going to change it. I just want consistency. So that's black 1, black 2. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is how this one is now. It's all black and this one is brown. So that is much better. So that is fine. Okay, for the brown, the first thing inside here is brown. The text is brown, and the next one, the text on the next one is 1, and the next one is 10. Why the text content here? There's no text content. So let's run it and you see how it looks like. There we go. You see it brown? Now, for those of you who understand the resistor color code, so that's the pattern. So the next color is red. So that's going to be easy because we now have consistency in everything. So come down here, paste this here. There we go. And there. So this is self.red. Red. Okay, so all of this will be red. There. So I'm just gonna speed that up. The names are all red here. So the row is going to be 3. Row number 3. Okay, and the text here will be red. Then the text on the next one is 2, while the text here is 10. Now the last one, there's nothing there. That's the tolerance. So if I run it now, this is how it's going to look like. The red has not changed. I haven't changed the color. Let's go back in there and change the color. Where is color? Font color is red, not brown. There we go. Come back here. Run it. There we go. Oh, just one I changed. Let's change the rest as well. This is red. 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 Okay, now run it. There. Okay, let's do one more, then I'll speed it up. Copy all of this and paste it right down here. There. And this color is going to be, this is going to be orange. So I'm going to change that to orange. And copy. Let's copy that across. Orange, orange, and orange. Right. And that is fine. And for orange, we have orange right there as well. In this uppercase. Then this will be 3, and this will be 1000. Why here there's nothing as well. And change the name here to orange. Orange. Once this is done, then I will have to speed it up. I believe you guys get the whole idea of how to create your buttons now. There. And the row is row number 4. Change that to 4. Okay, let's save and run. Let's see, that's our orange. There's an error there somewhere. Let's see. Orange one. Where is orange one? Who is orange one? That's a mistake there. Somewhere. Orange one. Okay, one is missing here. There we go. There. So now that you guys get the whole idea, I'm going to speed it up and get back to you guys shortly. Okay guys, I finish up with the settings of all the buttons, so have a good look at it. Then we'll run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. So those are the lines of code. They are all similar lines of codes, and those buttons will be triggered so that we can use it for the calculation. In total we have 17, sorry, we have 13 in total, right? So that is it. So let's run it now. Yeah, there we go guys, you see that? So what I'm gonna do now is we need to move this one, because we also need to add another column here, another frame here actually. Close that. Let's go straight inside the code. The next thing I want to do is, actually let me show it to you guys. We need to create another frame here. Okay, so let's create another frame first. So we come right up here, we have our frame here. So I'm just going to copy this, the resistor frame, and now change the name of that to indicator frame. So that is the indicator frame, and this is indicator frame. In the case of indicator frame, the column is going to be 1. So every other component that I'll create will be resident inside the indicator frame. So now let's come right down here. This is for the indicator frame. Now the first component is going to be a label. So let's copy a label here. And paste it right here. That's the first label. This label is going to be known as, let's just call it LBL first. That's for LBL, first call or first band, whatever. So it's right inside the indicator frame, and the text content on it is going to be right. Yes, we can call it first band. Okay, that's fine. Okay, copy that again. Then we have band 2, the second one, second band. And second band, that is going to be 1. Right. Okay, that is fine. This is second. Right. Okay, we also need an entry. It doesn't have to be an entry, but let's use an entry. So let's change this to entry, and this is going to be, let's call it txt, and another txt here, and this is row 0 and column. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So copy that and paste it right underneath here for this next one, and this is going to be for the second. Paste that there, paste this here, and let's change this to, this is 1 and this is going to be 1 there. And what text do we have on here? There will be no on the text. No, we're going to have some text variable though, but not now, not right now. There. Okay, let's say the width equals maybe 13 for now, and we'll take it from there. So the same thing here, right, and those are the text content we have on it. Let's run this and you see how that looks like for now. There we go, it's right here somewhere. Okay, we need to move it nearer. Okay. Okay, let's sort out this error here and move this one here, move this one over there. So what I am going to do is, you see here, I'm going to say comma strictly equals west, and the same thing will be repeated for the other one, equals west as well. And over here, name frame, so let that actually span column span equals 2. Right, hopefully that should take care of that. So this is for my second frame to the right, so let's see. Okay, we're getting somewhere, that's good. Now let's move this across while we are here, so make that 20, 120, and just see. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Let's add a 6 to it. Okay, we're almost there anyway. Now let's create the order. So come right down here, and I'm just going to copy and paste. Let's create the other labels. Copy, and we need how many more? Paste. And this label is going to be known as multiply. Multiplier. Okay, this is multiplier as well, and the text is multiplier. Alright, and what do we want here? This will be multiply, and the next one, let me call the next one divide by 1000. That is not necessary, but I just want to include that because I'll be using that for some of my calculations. And the name of this is going to be divided by 1000. Right, instead of, let's make that 16, so that will increase the size, the width. Okay, this is row 1, so this will be 2, and that is 2. This will be 2 as well. Why? This is 3 and 3. So let's save and run this and see how it looks like for now. There we go. Okay, let's try and improve the appearance of this frame right here. So let's go back in here, and right here, the first thing, let's say strictly equals west. So let's see how that looks like. Now take it from there. Okay, that is fine. Now come back in here, let's copy that and repeat the same for all of the labels. There's another label here, one more here, there we go. Right, and one other thing with the labels, let's increase this to 14 to create more room. Oh, 15. Okay, let's say 15, and we'll just take it from there anyway. You can always reduce it if it's too large. And let's see. Okay, that looks a bit much better. Okay, let's come in here. I still don't like this the way it looks. Let's make that 130 and see how that's gonna look like as well. Alright, I might have to set it for 132. Okay, let's finish up with this. The next thing we want to do now is we need a resistor value, minimum and maximum. Oh, we also need tolerance. If we select tolerance, we want the user to be able to see tolerance as well. So let's come in here. I'm going to copy this, paste. So the tolerance should be, okay, let's say this is going to be my resistor value. Yeah, resistor value. No, tolerance. That should be tolerance. Right, change this to tolerance. Okay, if those are tolerant, then this will be resistor value. Yeah. Resistor value. Okay. Repeat the same thing for the rest. And the name of this will be resistor value. Why this will be known as tolerance. Let's copy and paste that. Paste it right here. And then we need, this is 3, this will be 4, and this is 5. Right. Okay, so let's run it and see. Save it first. Alright, we have tolerance and resistor value. Okay, close that. We need 2 more. Copy this, that's going to be minimum and maximum. Paste. Minimum range and the maximum range. Okay, so speed that up. Alright, this is how it looks like for now. So let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. There we go. But I need this to actually fill up the whole interface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of all of these before carrying out any modification here. So the first thing, let's come up here. Okay, look at these width. Alright, I have a lot of those to take care of. Let's go to format or edit, replace, paste that in there and paste this and just change that to maybe 17. Let's go for 17 or 16 and see how that's gonna look like. Okay, that is 16. I'll replace it all of the width. Okay, now let's run that and see how that's going to look like. Okay, yeah, that's more like it. Okay, now this one we can make some, we can do something with this now. Okay, now let's see if we can increase this a little bit more. Add some padding to it. I will also need some buttons underneath here. Here I need 3 buttons here. And now we may not have to, but let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if we add some padding here, and let's say that vertical padding is going to be about 10, and we take it from there. The first one. Let's see. Get that away from there, cut it off and put it right here and see what's going to happen. Okay, save there. Okay, that's not bad. Right, that will move it down a little bit more for me. That is for the, okay, let's add another one to the label. Okay, that's fine. I think we can repeat the same thing for the rest. Okay, come in here, just add a bit of vertical padding for all. Right, and I am now going to sort of like speed it up. Okay, I have some vertical padding there, so let's run it and see. Okay, this is how it looks for now. Alright, let's add our button first before we start any other thing. First button, let's go for, I'm going to call that calculate. Calculate equals button, and calculate is going to be right in here. Text on it as well. There's going to be text content on it. Copy all of this, dump it right there. Okay, now let's round up calculate and see how that is going to look like. Then we take it from there. Paste this here and let's call this dot. That is going to be 7. That's going to be 8, not 7. Rule number 8. Rule 8, column 0. Right. Okay, let's run that first and see how it's going to look. We have a button here. We need another one here and another one. Okay. We may have to say all of the text. Okay, let's copy this first. See. Paste and paste. Okay. Let's run it. Now that's fine. Okay, let's see if I extend this a little bit more and see what's going to happen. And we need to find a way to move this down a little bit. So first thing first, we need to change all of this. That is meant to be called exit, and this is reset. Here, that will be calculate. There, run it and see. Okay, I want all the buttons to be of the same size. I don't like that size, so let's go for width here. take it from there. That's 16, that's too much. Maybe 8 and 8 and 8. Save. Okay, that is fine. Now let's see if we can increase this. If I increase this, let's see what's going to happen. Make this 24 and see. Or we can just ask it to. No, that is wrong. Okay, undo that. Okay, let's just ask it to span comma call. No, it's not there. It's going to be here. Comma column. Equals 3. Right, so we can increase that anyway. Alright, yeah, that's much better. That's good. So I'm gonna have to repeat the same thing for all. So let's say this is 20 and increase this to about 16 and see what's gonna happen. If it's good, then I'll repeat the same thing for all. Yeah, that's much better. Come in here and repeat exactly the same thing for every one of these. That will be 16. Change all of these to 16, and we then need to change all of these. Let's see if I don't have any other 16. I can just do it in one go. Come right down. Now copy all of these. No. Okay, I'm going to have to yeah, I can do it in one go. Copy, Control C, Control H, paste this here, and paste this right here. Change this to 16. That the width is 16 and here is 15. And repeat for all. Yeah, all done apart from this one. Change that individually. Okay, I still have some. Okay, we can just do it individually. Alright, let's run it now and see how it's going to look like. Let's run that. Then we need to change all of these to, we need to make them span 3. There, copy this. Every single text must have that. There's a text here. Right. And there's a text here as well. So I'm going to speed that up. Get back to you guys. Okay, all is done. So let's run it and see how it's going to look like. If there's any other modification, just take care of it right away. Okay, that is fine. But if you look at these two buttons, there's no much space in between them. Look at the space here and the space here. So we may have to add maybe 4 more to this text box. Okay, and maybe add some padding. Let's see. If I add 4 more here, let's see how that's going to look like. And let's add x-axis padding. Let's make that 4 as well. If that works, then we'll repeat exactly the same thing for all. There should be a comma here. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good for me. I think I like it. So I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing for the rest, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Close that. And this is what I'm talking about. For each padding I have 4. Okay, coming to wherever I have the text box, there's a text box here, and add a padding there. Changes the width to 24. Okay, it's got to do with my own monitor, so yours might be different. Okay, so I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, the modification is finished for that very frame, so let's run it and see. Alright, but there's something I don't like. You see right here, I want to be able to move this up a little bit. So okay, and I also need to change the background. I'm going to close that. Let's come right up. You see here the padding, I'm going to change that padding to 244, and the text content here I'm going to change it to 40, and the back color is powdered blue. I also need powdered blue for all the frames. So come right here, main frame, comma, I think that's BG equals powder blue. Right, that's for the main frame. All other frames we have to inherit for powder blue as well. Undo that, that's not consistent. Let's come right here, paste that powder blue, and this one powder blue as well. Right, let's run it and see. Okay, that should be BG, yeah, background color, not, that's wrong. BG, that's a G, that's a G here. Okay, alright, that is how it all looks now. But the other problem is every single component here should be changed to powdered blue as well. So I'm going to have to go inside individual components and get that sorted. Coming to the, yeah, that's the title. No, this is the title. The title should have a powdered blue as well, so I'm just going to press enter, paste powder blue there. You don't have to, but that's how I want mine to be. Okay, right, title is taken care of, and these are the ones. I'll just take care of those and get back to you guys. Okay, every single labels are now, their background are now powdered blue. So let's go back in here, run the program. Yeah, so that's fine. That is fine. So all that is left for us to do now, we now need to start work on the calculation, but I still don't like it. I need to fill it up one way or the other. Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do is I will increase the size of these buttons. Let's increase the height for the buttons. Let's say comma equals 4, and I repeat the same thing for the other two buttons. Okay, let's see if we increase this to 18 and see what's going to happen with that. Run the program and see. That is not bad, but let's change the font back to 16. Undo that. Okay, now save and run. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to settle for that. I like that. So I can now officially say the design of the interface is completed. Okay, you see this yellow bit is a bit, I don't think it's quite clear. Maybe I should change the color to black and we can start with the coding. So let's come right down here where we have yellow. Right, we'll change the color to black. Just make that all black there, and let's run it and see. Okay, it's a little bit more pronounced, so that's much better. So close that and let's go right up here, and I'm going to declare the following variables here right underneath here. Let's say value 1. Okay, I'm going to make that variable, integer variable. Okay, we can make that integer variable or we can make a string, but however we can also change it if it doesn't work. So let's say I'm going to declare 4 of those for now. So that is 2, 3 and 4. Okay, the 4 variables, they for now they all have dot. There's nothing in them, right? So there's nothing in all of those. All right, so that's 2, 3 and 4. These 4 variables are, I will assign those ones to the following: txt first. So in here I'm going to enter, let's see, yes, that is correct. So I'm going to enter comma text variable equals value 1. So copy that. So the next one, the second one, text variable equals value 2. This is the multiplier. The multiplier, that's value 3. And division. Okay, let's make the division value 4 for now, and the tolerance, I want to make that value number 5. Okay, so I'm going to need more than this one. Let's make it value 6. That's 6. Right. Then minimum value 7. This is 6. And maximum will be value 8. Alright. Okay, let's go back up here since all of those variables are in place. So we need to change this, add more variables here. So this is 5, 6, 7 and 8, and the same thing here. Copy this, paste that. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, that is that done. So let's declare our first function. So the very first function, I'm going to call that band that'll be band 1 underscore black. Band 1 underscore black. There. For band 1 underscore black, that is going to be, we set this variable equals 0 because it's black. The black is 0 anyway. So there. So let's say band 2. Band 2 is, oh, undo that. Copy that. It's not band 2, it's also band 1. Band 1 underscore brown. Brown is going to be 1 according to our program. So if I run it, let's see. Here, as you can see, brown is 1, this is 2, 3, so on. So red, and let's add red and orange there. Paste them there. We have red, and we also have orange. Yeah. So red is 2, orange is 3. Okay. So for those four, that's anyone that is selected there will be assigned into the text box. Okay, we have red, and what else do we have after red? Okay, so after orange we have yellow, so let's go by yellow is 4. Come back here, we have orange, so I'm going to copy all of this, paste them in there. So this is yellow, yellow is 4. Then we have, I think the next one will be green. Yeah, we have green, and green is 5. Then blue, that's 6. There's 7 here, and 7 is violet. Right. So might as well finish it. I have 8 and 9 there. So 8, this is 8, and this is 9, and 9 is what color? White. And we have gray here. There. So all of these now, all of this function will be called by each of those buttons. So let's come right down here. The black, I've copied the black already, so let's come down to where we have black. There we go, right there. So I'm going to press enter and enter command equals that, put a comma there. So I've just called the black, so I'm going to copy that. I will now call the brown. This is the brown. Press enter, paste that, and change that to brown. Now we have red. Press enter, paste, change that to red. and then we have orange. Change that to orange. Okay, those four, let me run it and see how it looks like. Save and run it. Okay, let's see. There we go. Black is 0, brown is 1, 2 and 3. That is fine. So we need to take care of yellow and so on. Alright, since I'm in here, I'm just going to paste those four. This is yellow, just to make sure the names are right. So it's going to be uppercase yellow. Now come down, the next one, that's green. Paste, change that to green. Yeah, blue. Violet. Gray, paste, and that becomes gray. That's calling the commands. This command are not written yet, but I'll write them now. So this is white, that's the last one. There. So let's go back up there. So we have they are all written. Yeah, they're all there. So that's fine. So that means we can run them. Let's run them. There's one more here. 9. So this would be 9. Yeah. Okay, let's run it. That's fine. So white is here. Oh, that's fine. Gray, violet, blue, green, yellow, red, orange and red. Okay, that's fine. All of these are working. So the next one is this band. Okay, this one will be a little bit easier. So if we click on any of these, we expect it to repeat exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to copy this. So let's copy this one. Yeah, we've copied this anyway. Let's come right down here. Let's press enter. Just enter a break there. And I am now going to paste that and just give that a name. Paste the second one. In the case of the second one, the variable I'm using is variable number 2. So change all these to 2. And the value in them is the same. It's 0 to 9 as well. So that's easy. Okay, now that is supposed to be band 2. Change this one to 2. All of this to 2. There, that is fine. Okay, now we now need to assign this to the widget, entering widget. Let's come to the second entry widget right here. This very one. So in here Okay, it's already there. Alright, I've already done that anyway, that's fine. Okay, let's go back up here. We now need to be able to call this. Okay, we need to call that on the second button. So let's come down, the second black button, this very one. So that is going to be here. I can even copy all of this and just change that to 2. Come in here, press enter, paste, change the band to 2, band 2 underscore black. Right, and the next one here, copy that, that's brown, and press enter, paste, change that to 2 as well. Okay, I guess you guys get the idea, so I'm going to speed that up because that's a little bit straightforward. Yeah. Right, let's change that to 2. It's just command calling the bands, calling the functions. So I'm going to speed that up. Okay, all is completed for the second column. So it's exactly the same thing I've just repeated, apart from the different function names. So if I run it now, this is what you guys will see. Okay, let's say you select a band here and it happens to be red, so red is 2, and in band 2 it's 4, so that will give you 24. So let's say you select something here, so that will be the multiplier. So let's take care of the multiplier as well. So with the multiplier, I think that is number 3, so I'm going to copy these again. Okay, so these ones I'm going to have to change them to multipliers. So copy, make sure it's all copy. Paste. And all of these will be changed to 3. Okay, and this will be changed to multipliers. Multiplier. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, those names are all changed. So with the multiplier, yes, there are some difference. So for the very first one, that is 1. The next one is 10, and this is 100. This will be 1000. It's 100 here, and this is 10,000, and so on. So let's speed that up as well. Right there, guys. So we have all the values in each of those variables. So, and we've also called the variable inside the multiplier, so that should be 3, value number 3. So let's come in here now and run it. There we go, we are almost there now. So let's say we have yellow, red, and our multiplier happens to be maybe orange. Oh, okay, we need to call that. We need to call it inside the... Okay, let's come down here. The first one is black. Right, it's copied already, so let's come into number 3. This is number 2, number 3. Come right down here, command equals that, comma. So that is the first one done. So you can copy that and just change it around for the next one. The next one here is brown, number 3 brown. Paste, and that is brown. Change this to brown. No, the next one is red. That become red. So I'm going to speed that up as well and get back to you guys. Okay, all of the functions has been called. Right, that's the last one. Now let's run it and see. So 3 rows are taken care of. So this is the last one, the multiplier. You see that, guys? That is the multiplier. Then we have band 2 and band 1. So all that is left for us to do now is to take care of this very one, the tolerance, when we have 3 there to take care of. So with the tolerance, we can just copy 3, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, copy, come right down here and paste. And see what this is all about. We only need 3. Okay, that's just some excess. Yeah, copy, paste. So this is the tolerance. So let's check out the tolerance text. Is number 5. Okay, so we change that to 5 anyway. Come back here, that is 5, and this is 0.05. This is 0.1, and this happens to be 0.2, and here is tolerance. Tolerance, the first one is gold. Tolerance, the second one is silver. And the last one is nothing, none. Tolerance. There. So we just need to call those. Copy, and let's look for the 3 buttons. We need gold. The first one is gold. There we go, gold, right there. We can, okay, we can do that. Paste it here. Command equals that for gold, comma, and we can also have it at the end here as well, so that's no problem. Yeah, that's cool. The next one here, silver. Paste, command equals silver. And we can have that here as well. There. And finally, none. Tolerance here equals none. And we can have that right at the end as well. Okay. So let's run that before we start the calculation itself. Alright, so we enter brown, orange for band 2, 100,000 for that, and what is our tolerance? Let's say is 0.05 or 1 or 2. So that is fine. So all we just need to do now is to use this to take care of the calculations. Right, that's good. Okay, we might as well take care of the exit and reset the easy one. And I'm thinking maybe we should move this around, because this is how this looks like. I think I should move this, and all this one should be okay. Let's close that and go into our code. But for the exit, I'm going to need to import the TK in a message. So we'll import that in there. That's fine, we need that. And right down here, I might as well just take care of the function for exit first. And let's come right down here. That's the function for exit. Okay, one other thing I want to do is to swap the tolerance around, but tolerance happens to be variable 5, so let's change that to 4. Then I can come right down. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I just want it to look consistent. Okay, now here is my tolerance. I'm gonna grab that. It's on row 4, so I want to move it, cut that off. Yeah, cut it off and bring this down and paste this one in here. Okay, so it's now going to be on row 3, and 3, and this one will be on row 4 and 4. So let's join this to this, and I'm going to join this to this, so that's fine. Okay, I've changed that around. Now let's come into our exit right there. I've already written something for the function for exit. So command equals I exit. Add a comma there. That's it. So if I run it, let's see how that is going to look like. Now we have tolerant up there, so that is fine. That's good. Right. Oh, we need to change this around. Okay, then exit. Yeah, let's see, exit, no, exit, yes. So we need to change the variables around. So tolerance, so the variable here should be 4, and this should be 5 there. So that is sorted. Okay, let's see. Right, that is fine now. Okay, the next thing is let's take care of the resets. So I might as well prompt the user to confirm if they want to reset or not. So let's go right up here. So I'm just going to copy this, copy everything there, and paste it right underneath here, and just change the name around. So this one will become I reset, and all the details in here will become I reset as well. So if it's greater than 0, I want you to reset. So here is going to be confirm if you want to reset there. And what are we resetting? Let me copy all of this. Just gonna copy everything in here and come right down here. Instead of destroy, paste that there, and let's get it indented. Format and indent. Yeah, that's it, done. Okay, let's go right down to the button resets and just enter command reset in there. Copy all of that. Button reset is right here, and change that to I reset there. Okay, let's save and run. There we go. Enter whatever value you want to in there. Click on reset. You want to reset? No. Confirm if you want to reset. Yes. That's good. So both are now working, so all that is just left for me now is to take care of the calculation. Alright, let's go back right up there. Right underneath here, I'm going to declare the following function. Function, let's say, calculate. Function calculate resistor. There we go. Alright. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call variable number 9. Let's say 9 equals. We enter a speech mark there, then the pound sign, the pound sign, that is to convert content to string, and percentage again. Then what I want to convert is whatever I have inside variable 1 dot get column, comma, and whatever I have inside variable 2, I want them concatenated into variable number 9. There we go. Close that, and I think we need to close it again. Yeah. Right. Okay, let's check to make sure variable 9 is there because it's not here. So let's come back here, and yes, we do have it, but in the wrong place. Let's cut it off and put it right here. And variable number 4, I'm going to change that to string because I'm going to need that as string. So let's include 9 in here as well. Get it initialize as nothing, and where is my exit? Resets. Let's place 9 in there as clear as well. Right. Okay, now that we've entered all our values straight into variable 9, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to declare a local variable. I'll call that t equals float, and that means float whatever we have inside 9. And then another variable, I'm going to call that m. Okay, so the m, we have to float that as well. Float whatever I have inside m, and that is going to be for variable number 3. Variable number 3 is where I store my multiplier, and variable number 4 is where I'm going to store my tolerance. Okay, let's call that s equals float, and that will be for variable number 4 I mean. Okay, that is done. Now let's, for 3 and 4 we have to get, let's use get there and get here as well. Right, but there are content in them, there's nothing in here, so that's fine. Okay, let's use an if statement to check what we have inside s. So if s equals 0.05, then I want the following. I'm going to say q, let's get that indented, q equals t multiplied by m. I just want to get it, let's divide that by 1000 and then multiply it by 0.05. Close that. So that is my very first argument there sorted. So let's check this, multiply by this, and then divide by this, and then multiply by that. Okay, let's say another local variable. I'm just going to call that a equals q, right? So if a equals q, this is what I want the system to do. Variable 5 dot set whatever we have inside, that will be whatever we have inside a. So I'm going to now convert it to string dot 1. So 1 decimal place. You can make it 2, the choice is yours. Pound sign, open a bracket, enter a, and close that. Right, so that is for to enter the value inside variable 5, and 5 is for my, that is meant to be for my tolerance, no, resistant. And the next one here, resistor, not resistance, the next one is going to be 6, 7. So 6 is going to be for T. I'm going to use that for T. That's whatever I have in here that is concatenated, I want it inside T, and it's assigned to 6. And 6 is my, that is meant to be my resistor, right? 7. Oh, one of them is the resistor. Okay, let's just go on. Let's see who is who here. 4 is tolerant. 5 is okay, division by 1000. Then 6 is for resistor, right? I have 6 for resistor. Okay, what is 7? 7 is minimum, 8 is maximum. Okay, go back in there. Right, so that is for 6. Now for 7, I'm going to say T minus Q. Okay, and I might as well add plus K, that's the symbol, homes. Yeah, I've added that. Put that in a bracket. Then for 8, variable number 8. So for 7 we find the minimum and minimum range, and for 8 we find the maximum range. So we add that here. Add. Right. Okay, let's try to run this, but let's correct this minor error. So I need a column there, and in here in 6 I need this 6, paste that there, right, and 5, close the bracket as well. Okay, and in here this bracket should not be there. Okay, and here we happen to have too many brackets. So let's see what we've done so far. I think, right, so let's say the first band is 2, the second band is 4, and multiplier, that's the orange, then resistor or tolerance there. Click on that right there. You see that, guys? That is fine. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to reset. So the next thing I'm just going to do now is just copy and paste. So that is fine. So let's use else if. Copy everything there. Else if s is 0.1. Okay, and this one becomes 0.1 as well, and copy that again, and that is for silver. The next one is for none, that is 0.2, 0.2 as well, and that is all there is to this very one. So but make sure your calculate resistor is called inside button calculate right here. I've already called mine, that's it right there. Enter command equals calculate resistor. So back to the calculate function. So let's try it all out now. So resistor 0.5, which is 5%, 10%, and 20%. So let's run it. There we go. Alright, that's our first band there, whatever we select, and that is silver. Calculate, you see that, guys. Reset, confirm if you want to reset, no. Confirm if you want to reset, yes. Okay, the next one happens to be that, and let's select 20. There we go. Let's select 10 there, and let's select 5 there. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now.